My red flags were definitely, so I started stealing from the town store regularly, the alcohol. I lost a lot of my friends because they didn't use the way that I used. I started to isolate myself from my family, so even though I had a strong support network that would have, been able to help me through my abuse and save me from the people that were abusing me and help me come into recovery, I never utilized that. I started doing things that aren't like myself at all. I got involved in sex work. That was a big red flag because I started viewing myself not as a person, but as a means to an end. And the end was always that drug, that high. When I would black out, that would be when I would realize that there's really something wrong going on here, because I would black out and I would just do these just crazy things. So like, I would black out, and for example, there was this one time where I blacked out and I hopped on top of a car and they were driving down like not a real highway but like a 140 highway, and I was like, "Oh, that's hilarious," but also that's crazy. That's really dangerous. Like, that's probably something you should not be doing. I would just do these like crazy attention seeking things that like everyone kind of laughed at and was like, "Oh, Kat's crazy. Like, she'll do anything," but that was like a big red flag. As I progressed, like I said, like as I started losing friends, as I started hearing more and more stories about myself from when I would black out, it just started getting crazier and crazier, and I started to notice that I was becoming more emotional, I was becoming more irrational, I was becoming more sporadic. I never really had stability to begin with, but it completely eradicated any sense of stability that I might have had. And so when I noticed that, I started blacking out more. When I started I would wake up every morning and I would drink a Jager bomb, and then I would bring alcohol to put in my coffee. I would bring Bailey's to put in my coffee in the morning to drink in the morning at school. When I started doing things like that, and when I started noticing just all control in my life just slipping away, and when I couldn't even sit with myself for like 10 minutes I had to always be around people. I couldn't sit by myself for even like 10 minutes without just trying to find someone to be with, something to do, something to use. And that's when I knew that I was really, really in it.